Prince Harry has announced his engagement to American actress Meghan Markle. We got our first look at the couple a little bit earlier when they appeared at Kensington Palace's Sunken Gardens. You can see Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They're smiling at each other for the cameras, and they both said that they were thrilled about the engagement and that the story of how they proposed would come much later. So joining us now to talk a little bit more about the royal engagement is royal contributor Victoria Arbiter. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
There are all these details we want to know, but this wasn't a complete surprise. We knew that he was gearing up to pop a question, right?
We definitely knew. It's probably the world's worst kept secret. Yeah. And this weekend in particular, the news just exploded. The newspapers were full of her having royal protection, being spotted in London. She'd been for a facial. So, of course, 1 and 1 equals 72. And everyone had reached this conclusion. I don't think anyone was anticipating it being this morning, but coming hot on the heels of the Queen and Prince Philip's 70th wedding anniversary, it's just really great news, and the world could use some happy news right now.
And so what has the reaction been? I mean, are there women who are sort of passing out with disappointment, or is everyone pretty much happy for him?
I think everybody's very happy for Harry. He's so accessible. He's probably the most popular member of the royal family, and so while I'm sure there are a few hearts breaking around the world today, overall I think people are incredibly happy for him and happy that he's found somebody to love and that somebody that loves him.
Yeah, they certainly look very happy together. They're a gorgeous couple. Talk about two good-looking people. Meghan Markle, she's a little different, at least when it comes to somebody who will become a member of the royal family. She's American. She's divorced. Yep. She's biracial. She's an actress. I mean, I think you can check mark a lot of boxes there, right?
Even 10 years ago, as recently as 10 years ago, I think any one of those things would have been a problem in terms of the royal family. But times have changed, expectations have changed. And again, with Harry, I think everybody he's his mother's son. He's just going to do what works for him. He's very respectful of the establishment and of the monarchy, but he wants to make sure that he's living an authentic, happy life. And so really, when you see this type of relationship and how he came out all guns blazing last November defending Meghan against people that had been making racist comments, trolls on Twitter, media that had written some pretty unpleasant articles. Straight away, everyone was like, well, this is a real prince. He's taken care of her.
Can we talk a little bit about that? Because that was pretty unprecedented. At the time, there were a lot of rumors circulating about whether or not they were dating, but he came out and confirmed, yes, they were dating seriously, and also followed up with about as royal of a tongue lashing as a royal can give, right?
That statement was very firm. He did not mince his words, and actually you could hear his words in the statement. That was not written by aides. That was Harry coming out defending her, because he has said in the past that it's very difficult dating as a member of the royal family. Both Chelsea Davy and Cressida Bonas both said that they were really breaking up in their relationship with Harry because they couldn't handle the media attention. Now, Meghan comes from a background where she is a celebrity. She has been on a television show. Perhaps that show wasn't quite as well known until now, with her name associated with it. But she's older, she's got a maturity, she's an independent, successful woman in her own right, with a better understanding of how media works.
Can we talk a little bit more about her background? She is American. She grew up on the West Coast, right?
She grew up in Los Angeles, yes. She has a couple of half-siblings. Her mother was a yoga teacher. Her father worked on television sets.
How West Coast?
So West Coast. She said she grew up going to the set of Married with Children after school, and she's very West Coast in terms of her persona as well. Up until quite recently, when she let go of her blog was all about how great the beach is and what she loves to eat and the fashion that makes her feel good. She's kind of got that West Coast mentality, and I think that will serve her well in the royal fishbowl, where it can be incredibly stressful.
Right. So moving forward, though, things will be probably a little more rigid for the couple. They'll have titles, a specific place to live. Do we know anything about sort of their life moving forward?
They're going to be living at Kensington Palace. Prince Harry at the moment has been living in Nottingham Cottage. That's been his bachelor pad. But Meghan is said to have moved out of her Toronto house last week at the conclusion of the filming of Suits. So she's already moved her stuff over. Most importantly, she's moved her dogs over. So I think there's a little feminine touch going on in Nottingham Cottage right now. But really, in terms of their future life, they will get a bigger apartment at some stage. I'm sure family is very much on their minds. I'm sure they'll have a country country home at some point.
Right.
It's highly likely the Queen will infer a dukedom on Prince Harry, Sussex being the most popular title at this point. So they would be Their Royal Highnesses the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
You know, I'm sort of curious about how the titles are chosen. What's the process?
It's quite I mean, I think really it comes to which titles are available, first of all, and then what connotations are associated to those titles. Is there a negative connotation? When Edward abdicated in 1936, he became the Duke of Windsor. When he died, that title obviously became available, but it's got a negative connotation because of the abdication crisis associated with it.
Yes.
So really there's a lot of thought that goes into it, but I think with Meghan, if they weren't to be given a dukedom, she would become Her Royal Highness Princess Henry of Wales, and he's not going to want that for her. I think the Duke and Duchess title is highly likely.
Well, Victoria Arbiter, I know we will be speaking to you quite a bit between now and spring.
So. Yeah,
I'll get my fascinator ready, or whatever you wear to a royal wedding that I won't be invited to, but thank you so much.
Thank you very much.